Welcome to the Typical Skeptic Podcast, where we dive deep, you decide. Questioning the matrix from UFOs, where the shadows unknown reside. Rob Khalil busting myths like ghosts in the night. Paranormal pros, secret space ops, yo, we keep it real, no fright. Typical skeptical, seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Aliens, Anunnaki, black ops in disguise. From abductions to ancient scripts, we flip the script wide. SSP style, mile after mile, truth can't hide. Hold up, TSP crew assemble, we dismantle the fable. My lab's targeted souls, breaking out of the stable. Dogman howling, big for prowling, cryptids in the mist. Mandela the fifth twist in reality, can't resist the twist. Soul trap snapping, reincarnation mapping, holographic dreams. Near-death visions, out-of-body missions, waking up the teams. No censorship here, we fear no elite scheme. Conspiracy kings ringing bells, hear the freedom ring. Skeptical seeking, never sleeping on the lies. Extraterrestrials, interdimensional highs. Welcome to the Typical Skeptic Podcast, where we dive deep, you decide.
It does this every time. Someone knows. Friend. Her name is Marcia Sava. Marcia Sava is a shaman, certified Reiki and Karuna Master, a super soldier experiencer who spent years uncovering what she describes as hidden programs tied to the secret space program. Through her journey, Marcia says she's uncovered keys to breaking free from manipulation, trauma loops, and spiritual oppression, not only for herself, but others as well. And joining me as the co-host is Christy Campbell. She's an intuitive guide and consciousness explorer, bringing her grounded, insightful perspective on awakening, manifestation, and navigating the matrix. It's going to be an awesome show. Yeah. And you guys can follow Christy on her channel at Christy Campbell CC33, and I'm going to bring them up on stage now. And let me see here. Okay, we got Christy with us.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, good to see you. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, Christy.
Good. And someone joined us. I don't know who is Hello Kitty. It says Hello Kitty entered the room.
I don't know.
Should we add them to the I don't know who that is.
No. No, definitely don't add them because I don't know who it is.
Should I keep them out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Okay.
Marcia has all kinds of paranormal stuff, huh? Do you?
Well, Chris is here, so yeah, that pretty much just follows him. He's about to go. Okay, bye, you're kidding.
Yeah. So, yeah, Marcia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself since you're new and you haven't been on the show before? I'm excited for this.
I've been into, clear negative energies and entities for a long time, and, all things metaphysical, but things really weren't going for me that much until I met Chris. And then he's like crazy psychic. So all this stuff follows him. And very early on, I kept trying to help him figure out what was going on with him. And he was a big puzzle. It was crazy. So,
but tell who Chris is because we don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's a super soldier, or he was. He should be clear. I think he's clear. We integrated Mike, which I think is his twin, but we're aware that they can always activate altars later that went dormant. And so that's something Draco was making clear to me. So, we keep, doing the same processes to make sure we're clear. We're constantly working on our own trauma, because trauma is their hook into you. You know, it's your pain and your trauma. And we really came face to face with that when Chris, he was going through absolute hell, total attacks on his body, his mind, his, you know, spiritually, you name it, he was being attacked. So through processes of constantly trying to back things off of him is how I learned the stuff I learned, and came to find out when I did a session with Christy, she said, y'all were super soldiers together. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I got things I got to clear up too, because I'm not like Chris. He was been split into a million pieces. So
He's Draco. He's been Draco programmed and all of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Chris is every bit as bad as he is, as far as the splits and not being able to sleep and it draining the life out of him. And he has alters. He doesn't anymore, but he had alters actively popping in, and they would communicate with him. So they could talk. It was literally, he was like literally going crazy with it, because he was like, there's two people in my head, you know, I'm talking to him all the time. And then I would go into energy work with him, and I started punching through to the altar and communicating with him. And we had some really crazy experiences with that. I would start to see over there, because I would just go in and just plug in love, you know, and protection over this altar once I could see him and communicate with him. And then I would always confirm what I was getting with Chris, and he's like, oh yeah, or vice versa. We kept getting the same thing. So we knew, because Chris literally thought he was going crazy. So, you know, through a process of working on him, I'm talking hours a day, a lot of times. And I started getting better and better and deeper with meditation. And his body's so sensitive that I could, you know, go into energy work and he could always know exactly where I was. I could even have him blindfolded and his body would react in the ways that as I would move, but he wouldn't know. And I'd make sure he wouldn't know. And he could always tell me how I was looping the energy and what exactly I was doing, you know. So through processes working on him, it made me stronger and stronger and stronger in figuring out what works best and what doesn't, and starting to map it out and starting to figure out, you know, how to battle this crap off of him. And
yeah, because you were seeing his altar come through. He was having his super soldier altar come through, take over his body at work, and he would fall asleep on the job and his altar would take over.
Yeah, he would just go out. Like, I mean, one day it was so bad, and I've seen him do a lot of stuff like this. One day it was so bad that, and this is when he was communicating with the altar. So the more he communicated with him, the stronger that got and the worse that got. And he would just be at work and Mike would be like, I've got to take your consciousness. So he'd be, you know, walking through his workplace. Like one day it was so bad, he fell and he hurt his shoulder and his knee, but it wasn't even enough to wake him up. He was out cold, and they're over there running over there thinking he had a heart attack, smacking him, trying to wake him up, and he wouldn't even wake up for a while. And it was that bad. This altar would punch through, and it was an assassin. He would tell me all these dreams he would see that, you know, weren't dreams. They were so vivid and detailed, and even pain involved in them. So I'm like, these aren't dreams, they're memories. And as I started mapping all that down, I started figuring things out, you know, a lot of the abuse and the rituals and the altar, starting to figure the altar out. And I kept communicating with this altar to the point that I would project love to it all the time. I have a very deep connection with Chris. Christy can tell you that we were trauma bonded in the SSP, but we're also trauma bonded here in this life. I have fought to save him for 3 years, and we finally broke through. And he's not having anything like that anymore. He's getting like normal sleep for the first time in his life. And they had a hold of his organs and stuff. So we used Laura Worley's book to undo the rituals that they implant, as they split you off. There's like ritual ages they do this stuff too. And so we back did the rituals, and then I had a reading with Christy, and she said, everything looks clear, but I still see Mike. And I was like, okay. So I went in and I just got real deep with Mike, and then I started seeing him. And I started seeing the buildings, and I had been projecting to him for a long time. Like, he would see Chris's life and he would get jealous. And Chris has had a very shit life until now. It's great right now, like fantastic. But he's had a very shit life, and the altar was jealous because he has love here from the people, close people around him, and they don't experience any of that. But Mike, I believe, was the twin, which she says in that book, the twin is the original split, which is usually at conception. It's the first split of your consciousness they do through your trauma. And I feel strongly that Mike was the twin. And so when they split your twin off, every ritual they lay out is connected to the twin. So they split the twin off and make the other altars. So if you can get to the twin and get it to integrate, it undoes everything behind it. Every oath, every agreement, everything that was made is attached to that original split. So I feel pretty strongly that Mike was that original split, and we did get him to integrate. And that was a really cool process. And, I explained that on your channel. Like, I don't know if you want me to get into all that, but how we got him to integrate, because I had to work with it for a little bit. And then, Christy, I told her, we had readings, and I told her everything I was doing, and she's like, I don't know anybody that does that kind of stuff but shamans. And I was like, okay, that makes sense, because I've been punching through to some crazy abilities that I had no idea I had. And I talked to Draco after that last one with you, Christy, and he said that they're holding back your abilities. They're stifling your abilities. So that makes a lot of sense to me, actually. As I'm getting deeper in meditation, it feels like I'm able to unwind all that stuff. But we had to develop a very, very extremely rigid psychic defense. Like, we had to figure out how to block every hole and how to outcreate them. And it took a while, but I've got a process that I do that since I've got this nailed down, and I'm doing it 2 or 3 times a day. Like yesterday I did it once and we were fine. So I can reel it back, but I don't play, and I don't give them a chance, and I don't give altars a chance to, mess with us, or anything to mess with us or our altars. I'm very, very careful about that. So I'm very, very, very rigid about my protection that I put out. I have a certain technique that I use that's been extremely powerful. And, I've been able to clear a lot of other people with this technique and teach them that so they could keep themselves clear. But this technique works. It's detailed. There's a lot to it, but it works. But anyway, I didn't mean to yap so long. It's been a lot. It's a lot of information, and I've been like in this freaking Twilight Zone for years with nobody to talk to. And everyone that I've ever tried to talk to about this and to try to find him help, just people don't want to hear it, or it's like over their head, or it's too much for them, and it's like crazy. So we had to just figure this out ourselves, and I'm just constantly watching videos and try to map anything I can that could help. I'm mapping all demonology type stuff. I'm mapping who we're targeting and who's targeting us, from everything under the sun. I'm mapping SSP. I'm mapping my labs, abductions. I'm just studying, trying to figure all this stuff out. But I feel like since we got all this calmed down, I'm literally emerging out of like 3 years of just being buried in this work so hard that, I'm coming out, and I'm just like, whoa, So it's a lot of information that I have that I never had the opportunity to share. And I know it's helpful for the people. I use it on people a lot to help clear them and stuff. So I know it works. So, that's something I want to share, but I want to hear about your experience, Christy, because we had something similar happen.
Rob, you want to say anything?
No, I'm really interested. So you had different experiences. Well, real quick, like if you had, before we get into Christy's stuff, have you had experiences with like different kinds of entities and different kinds of like demonic stuff, Marcia, as well, or like is it all the SSP in my lap and stuff?
Well, when I was younger, I can't remember much of my life. So, Christy said I was mom wiped a lot, and that makes sense because I don't remember much of anything. I had no idea I was an SSP too. When I was, calling about Chris, I had no idea. So, I'm sorry. When I was a teenager, I went through a spell where I was very, very, very extremely angry. And little did I know that would be a lot of training for what I do now. I was very sheltered. So I spent time in my room alone, no TV, no radio, no friends, no phone, no nothing. And all I had to entertain my mind was creating things in my mind. So I created, I guess the proper term is egregores. So do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah. It's a thought form. So,
yeah, it's when you put a lot of fuel into creations and you create beings that are in the astral, that's your egregores. I don't know if that term is actually connected to dark magic. I'm not connected to dark magic. So I'm not sure if that term is exactly correct, but it's something of that nature. Well, anyway, I was creating a lot of those, and I didn't understand what I was doing back then, but I actually use that now in my technique, and I pulled back those egregores, repurposed them, and cleaned them, and I use them for attack. And all that anger and trauma that was stored in my childhood, I bring that forward. I transmute all of that through me, because emotion is our that's where our power is as manifestors. So we have learned a process that when we go into meditation, what I will do is anything that they upset me with, if I'm upset, if I'm angry, if I'm stressed, if I'm sad over something that they've done, I will ball that up and I will bring it, and I will bring it and bring a column of light down from the monad, or, our original source consciousness or whatever outside of this dimension. I bring that in and I use that to transmute the emotion. And as I use that, I free up this raw power that was trapped in that pain, because there's a lot of power in it. So as I free it up, I use it and I just throw it right back at them. So they've gotten to the point where they know anything you do to piss me off or upset me, you better look out, because I'm going to meditate all day long and I'm going to slap you with it so hard. So it got to the point where I had to just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, to the point I was like I can clear a house so fast now. Like, boom, it's gone. Like, I can literally just sit here and go, here I come, motherfuckers. And boom, they're gone. I can feel them. It's been nothing but peaceful for a while now. Like I said, I feel that I have the holes plugged everywhere finally through the processes we've learned. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying. When I was a teenager, apparently some entity got in me or on me, and it was bad. And I get reptilian off that. I'm not sure if you can see that, Christy, but whatever was on me, it made me very dark when I was a kid. I was always thinking about death, dying, drawing, death, dying. It was terrible. I had no idea something was on me. That stayed with me most of my life. And then when I was about 30, 31, 32, I remember just going outside and just looking up, just saying, please, I just want to serve the divine. That's all I want to do. You know, I'm sorry for everything I've done. And I just would sit out there and cry every day. And then one day, whatever it was, leapt out of me. And I'm telling you, this isn't some little something. This was huge, because whatever it was that made everything dark all that time, boom, it was gone. And there was this like empty cavity in my back where it had been my entire life. And my back had always been really hot. And as soon as it left, it was like this cold, empty cavity right there. And it stayed that way for 3 days. My husband can tell you this. And after my Reiki master, who happened to be, they were demonologists. Her and her husband were demonologists. And they taught us a lot because, you know, in Reiki, you got to encounter these guys a lot. So she told me, she said, when you have something leave like that, you've got to fill that with light. And so when we did that, it didn't feel empty anymore. But my entire outlook changed after that. I went from dark, thinking I was bipolar, and it was this damn entity. And I never knew until it leapt off of me. And like, I went from dark, just wearing all black and no colors and no humor and this and that, to all of a sudden I loved colors and I laughed and I dressed different. Well, sometimes I do love black, but it, knowing how they affect you, and I think back and I could always see it in my eyes. When I would get mad, I had the scariest eyes back then, and I saw that change. And now I know I can actually see it in people's eyes now. When I'm talking to people, I can see when something ain't right. And I kept seeing that with Chris, and I was like, always trying to target it and figure out what it was, and it wasn't responding to the normal, like, little things. So once we figured out this SSP and all the rituals, we finally got at the last of what was haunting him. As far as I know, he's doing great. I'm doing great. We're waking up happy every day. We feel amazing. He's got energy. He's sleeping great. Like, he did not want to be part of this conversation at all, because when he thinks about it, he's terrified that the thinking about it will make a connection to it, because he can make a connection to things like that. Yeah. So he has to be careful with that. I told him, just go. He says, fine if you do it, because for some reason it doesn't bother me. But anyway, after seeing what this entity can do to somebody, I started getting really interested in trying to help people get them off of them. And I could see them. I could see them in their eyes, or I could feel them. I can really feel people when they're near me. And as I've tapped into my intuition, like, that's something I had to learn, was how, and that's something that Chris taught me too, working on him, is how to hear my guidance. So I'd be deep in meditation. And this is something something basic people just don't know, is when I never heard much of my guidance before that. And as I would work on him and I would get deep in meditation, there'd be this quick flash of a thought. And I'm like, and when I would try it, I would ask Chris, or he would respond and let me know it lit him up. So I started learning how to listen for that. It's this quick flash thought, and it's quiet. So you have to be still and quiet to hear it. It never screams, so, anyway, as I started following my guidance, I started being able to pick up on stuff around people more and feel into what was going on with them a little bit more. But when we integrated that altar, that was really super interesting. I was able to just kind of pull that soul forward, because I've been communicating for a long time. And I was like, hey, when you come here, you'll have that life you were jealous of, because you are him. I see you in his personality popping through all the time. So I know you. You're not a stranger to me. Come jump bodies. Jump back. Just jump out of there. So I kept communicating him and giving him information about how to free himself, sending information to him. Now, this is this is what we've learned. Do this there. And I would cast protection around him and like these dark shields to mask, because one time I saw him awaken and go rogue. And they caught him and tortured him after that. Come here, Tofu. So after that, I started putting a shield over him where they couldn't see the light that I was pushing through all the time, or the light that he was growing as he was hearing us. Because Chris would talk to him too. Then when it got so crazy, Chris had to like, there was a lot. I don't even know where to start. Long story short, he was able to cut the altar off for the most part from, coming in and taking his consciousness. And then they had a hold of his organs. And that's something we had to unwind in that book, was how to take the grasp off your organs and your body when you're caught in these rituals. So every time he would do something good for himself, something bad would happen. And it was happening to his organs a lot. And he got like really severe pancreatitis, and he had it ongoing off and on for probably 2 or 3 years at least.
Oh my God.
We didn't know what was going on, and we didn't know what was wrong. It took us forever to even get it diagnosed. And he was just fighting through this, excruciating pain. And it kicked in like what I call his pain body. He was traumatized a lot as a kid. He was beat bad, like abused bad. So he had a big pain body basically. And when he was going through this chronic pancreatitis, he was like, that pain body came forward to protect him. It was like his protector part. And he turned into a completely different person. Once I was able to get, and it was a battle every day, like a big battle every day to keep him okay and keep him alive. And then once I was able to get it untangled a little bit from his pancreas, and that pain body stepped back a little bit, he realized what an asshole he had been. And because he couldn't remember, I was telling him, I was mad. I was mad because it was like I went through 1.5 years of this, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse, and it got real bad. But he didn't remember it, and I didn't know that right at first. But when he found out how severe it got and how bad it hurt me, he somehow, and he doesn't know how, and I don't know how he did it either, he ripped his pain body off. And when he did, he literally ripped half his personality off. And he did it because he did not want to hurt me. He knows how much I've done to help him, and he did not want to hurt me, and it broke his heart, and he somehow ripped it off. When he ripped that pain body off, the ties to it followed. So it stopped most everything. The only thing that we had is we had to go undo the rituals, but a whole lot of stuff he had already ripped off by doing that process, and he was getting a lot better. And
What, can I ask you a question?
Everything.
Like, what rituals do you think were being done, and like who do you think was doing them? Do you think it was like black ops, or do you think it was like someone that was involved in his past that was casting black magic on him, or what do you think was going on with that?
Well, everything I've studied, and that book also, it's but I've everything I've studied, it says that that's really the anchor to all of this stuff, that they install this thing they call a tree of death into like the SSP people, the MyLab people, the abducted people, the people that are breeders. They install this thing called a tree of death, and it anchors them to this 13 demons. So what they do is, you have all these elite, all these assholes that are doing this stuff. They have different agendas for this altar. Okay. Yeah. So this breeder, they want them to breed. And so that's called a breeder cult. And then, this Black Ops wants this super soldier for whatever, the government or whatever. And then you've got, this one needs to be sacrificed to Baal or donated to Baal or to Lucifer, who the hell ever, because there's a bunch of them. So these people sacrifice and do these rituals to anchor in this tree of death, which is the basis of all of them, from what I'm understanding and what we did, it worked. So that's your anchor point. So within this tree of death, there's 13 demons. So there's a lot of people with a lot of different agendas. This one wants to serve this demon. That one wants to serve that demon. As a matter of fact, I was just listening to something today that it was Alabar Jones, and he had a lady on. It was a little bit older interview, but I had just found this guy, by the way, and I was so excited to find him.
I know who Alabar is. I've had him on my show a couple times.
He said to tell you hi, by the way.
So, yeah, we're cool. Yeah. Well, but I wanted to tell you something, Marcia. I told Christy this, and I'm kind of public about it, but like I've told people, it's kind of went away, but it keeps coming back. Like, as you noticed, it comes back on full moons. Like, it seems like someone can. I don't know if it's Black Ops. That's why I asked you. Like, it's what it is it's like astral parasites, and it's even in my bed when I go to sleep. Like, I'll start feeling something touching me and like feeding off my energy. You know, there was a time where entities were portaling up off the ground, like, you know, into like my couch that I sleep on. I'm not kidding you. This is the honest.
He was getting all that too.
Ongoing. I have someone clearing me now as we're doing this, because I get attacked during podcasts. It's like whoever's doing this, whether it's Black Ops or whether it's someone that doesn't like me, they found out that they can tap into me when I do podcasts, and they attack me when I'm doing podcasts. So I can feel someone out there, someone's clearing me as we're doing this. Like, and I'm getting hit as we're doing this. Like, so I just want to let you guys know that. Like, as this is going on, I'm getting hit. You know,
let's get them off. Let's get them off. I don't want you getting hit. Hold on just one sec. Let's get them off of you.
What do you think that would be? Like, I just wanted to get your opinion.
They're always targeting us. And you're SSP, right?
People have told me I am. Christy, but I don't have any memories, you know? I don't want to. I am.
I've seen him. Well, I've seen him with me, so he is.
Okay, so something we've been doing that's really helped a lot. I think I understood now that as they teach the altars to attack you. So that's something that could be happening. I have a process that I do that I would love to get into, but we're not going to have time on this show.
I'll make time. I'll make time because because Christy still has to tell her story, and like, like I don't have any other shows tonight. So I did one earlier today, so I'm good. I have time.
Okay.
As long as you guys have,
I don't want you getting hit right now. I want to clear you. So let's focus on that real quick.
That's why we're here, Rob. That's why I wanted her on, to help you, Rob.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. I'm going to are y'all good for a minute and let me do that real quick?
Yeah.
We make songs that get me there. So I'm gonna play one and just go in real quick. If you'll give me a minute.
Yeah,
and, let me help you.
We'll wait.
Okay, sorry. I'm just let me focus for a minute. I'm gonna just close my eyes and focus for a minute. So I'm not getting hit.
My Eric said, "Can you clear the chat too?" I said, "I guess the chat's getting bothered too."
Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm calling in the monad frequency. I speak not to the source, but as the source of all sources. Draco told me to specify. I start this vortex.
Holy shit.
The pain you caused me is now my flaming sword. To those who seek to destroy me, hear my thundering voice now.
mirrors around you to reflect back all your attacks.
Sacred fury, I set ablaze my world and burn those who seek to harm, manipulate, or observe me with nefarious intentions. Cowards bow before me. I hurl my inner fire into the ether and incinerate you with my fierce, unstoppable fire. I attack you mercilessly. I violently explode your technology you try to use against me. I tower over you and watch you fall to your knees, trembling before my power. You are but faceless shadows. You are weak. You have no power. You are but faceless shadows. You are weak. You have no power.
Hold on a minute. Something I want to do with you. One sec.
I can
I'm
feel
sorry.
it clearing me. That was amazing. But I feel like it hides on my back. But yeah, like it'll. Yeah, I feel you for sure.
I can keep.
For sure.
Are you? Do I need to keep going? I was just getting crunk. But if you're good, you let me know.
I felt it for sure. For sure. I felt it for sure.
You feel
Keep
it
Absolutely.
going.
now?
Yeah, probably keep going though. If you got there's another completion.
Yeah,
you know,
I
complete it.
feel it. I really want to go ape shit on him for a minute.
Okay,
Excuse
all
my
right.
excuse
I
my
can feel it
choice.
on my back. I can feel it on my back,
I-
Marcia.
I'm-
It's like
I'm-
that's where it like.
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a sec. You
Yeah,
need.
go
I
ahead.
gotta put my angry music on. Please excuse the music, but I gotta put my angry music on because I'm.
We're cool.
I need
We
it.
listened to that too.
Yeah, thank you.
This is
Christy.
my
This is
favorite
awesome.
attack song right there. I really give me one sec. Let me put it in my ears. Sounds so much better when it's cranking in my ears.
Thanks, Christy. This is awesome.
We're getting all cleared up, huh? I can feel it too.
Oh yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
really
She's
feel it.
powerful. She's really
Yeah.
powerful, guys. Like I can feel her like for absolutely sure clearing me. You know, she's absolutely powerful.
I do this
She
for
really
people
is.
all the time. Give me one sec. Let me hit a strong song, okay?
We can't hear it though.
I just got it in my ears, okay?
Okay. You feel that, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely.
Me too. There's a lot that attacks us, huh, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think it's because of what we do, you know? I don't think people get it how much we get attacked, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a lot of sadness pulling up and leaving.
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
How you feel?
A lot better. A lot
Yeah.
better. That was amazing.
Sorry.
Feel
I had to
a
wear
lot
my
of
pillow off.
sadness and all of that clearing.
Good. Yeah. They'll make you sad. They'll make you mad. They'll make you everything. Desperate. Hopeless.
Well, why
When
are
you
they
get
doing
that-
it, Marcia? Do you think it's like Black Ops because of what I do or something? Is that why they target me or what?
Yeah, for sure. You gotta always target their technology. So I want to teach people how to do this. This is not hard. You just gotta have faith in yourself. You gotta understand something. We are their power source. We are more powerful than they are. We just need the tools and we need the confidence. And that's it. That's all you need. I had no idea I could do any of this crap. It just started developing. So you can put up protections and things in place where this shit stops happening. That's what we had to do. There's a certain visualizations, there's certain things that I use, and I'm very specific and I'm very detailed, and it needs to be this way to plug all the holes. But I reflect everything back to them, or I just actively attack them. I enjoy the hell out of that, honestly, because they piss me off so bad. But we are more powerful. But they use, they make us feel like we're nothing. But they're feeding on us. They're the parasites. We're the energy source. So, people don't understand that. They look around, they think we're just walking around this, we're creating everything. That's what people don't understand. So if you get super focused on, the right kind of protection, you're good. You can battle them off. No problem. They get where they don't even want to mess with me anymore because I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. I'll sit here and meditate on you all day. You want an ass whipping? Let's go. But anyway, yeah, no,
I love that.
I love it. I mean, set me off on them because
What kind of protection do you use like that you could share some examples?
Well, I use a vortex. So what I always see is
This is a great comment from Black Feather in the Wind. She says, "We do not consent to be the battery. We're all sovereign."
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah, that's a big one. Claim your sovereignty. And and what they use is this tacit consent. So they flash this crap in movies and all that stuff. And if you don't like, thank you. If you don't put your borders and boundaries out to how things have to interact with you, because there is free will and it doesn't feel like it because they found loopholes. Well, we're going to flash it at you. And if y'all don't fight back, then that's considered consent. Thank you.
Oh.
And so in my case, and I posted some songs that I use for clearing and for getting my head right and for protection. And these are very, very valuable songs. They're very precise. You can listen to these songs. They're on Christy's web, on
that video.
The one show we did. You can attach it to the bottom if you want. And these
or you
songs,
can send it to Rob and he can put it on here.
Sure,
yeah.
Yeah. So, we just share them because we made them. We did AI generator, which is easy to do.
It's cool sounding too. Really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you take lyrics of things that will clear. you know, and we piece those together and make clearing songs. There's certain visualizations that I do that are we made songs about to help direct our minds. So when we go in meditation, we use these songs a lot to focus on certain intentions. And I also get these guys to do it with me a lot, because the more people that do it, obviously the stronger. So I get them to visualize this exact same things I use. But anyway, I use a vortex. I don't want to miss anything, so let me grab some notes real quick, because this is specific and it needs to be. If you're dealing with crap like you're dealing with, you've got to be very detailed in how you handle this. So if I'm going to lay that out, I need to get my notes real quick that I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is great. I think this is a very valuable information for everybody. So thank you
for everybody.
Yeah. And this is amazing, Christy. Thank you. This is awesome. Yeah, and we'll have time to tell your story too. We'll have time.
Yeah, it's like, not. It's real. And she said she had similar. So I wonder if it was because it was. I think.
Tell us a little bit.
Go ahead and tell it, Christy.
Yeah, it was close after our reading. So Mike and you said it was similar. So I don't know with that, but I haven't never dreamed of Barbara Bush before, and she was like in her 50s or so when in the dream. And I knew the dream like this wasn't a dream, of course, because it's like a movie playing out. And she was on a scooter and going down like in a football stadium, like on the concrete, you know, like that, going down. And then there's like an elevator over here. And she took us all on this elevator, and there was like a whole group of us. And I saw a raw cloud in there too in that experience. Well, she was on the elevator in the middle, and all of us around her, and it was like mirrors around in the elevator, and she started just like going all kind of crazy, like demonic, and her tongue like going out and everything too, trying to kind of maybe alter us out or so. And then she had this mouth spray going around to each person saying like, open up. And then she got to me and I said, no way, I'm not. She said, you're going to want this. It's going to mask the pain that was from yesterday. And then I got a flash of like an implant that they put in me, like a little rice thing, and size implant. And then we were like down on the basement area, like in a rec room with the couch. And then I saw raw cloud over like in the corner, like leaning on the bar area by the kitchen. And he was like fisting to fall asleep. And then I think that they gave us some LSD or something like that, because I was like tripping out. I was seeing
Christy,
like a girl.
I gotta tell you real quick, Rock Cloud's coming on my show tomorrow night. That's so weird that you had a dream about Rock Cloud. Yeah, he's coming on tomorrow.
I told him.
That's cool.
Yeah, I told him about the experience. But then I seen like I know I was tripping because I seen a girl run really fast on the treadmill, like holding her cat. And then I was in like a van, like a 70s van with my uncle. So I was like tripping, and then I fell on the floor. And then so that was all of that experience. Well, the next day I woke up and told my dad about it, because he has the same experience, because my Native American side. So he has dreams just like I do, and he's in the program as well. But he's like a shooter, you know, with the Super Soldier program. He's a shooter. So I told him, and then he said, "Oh, you know what happened the night before? I heard." He goes, "Did you hear these helicopters outside?" Because I live with them, and I didn't hear. And then he said, there was a black helicopter straight ahead in front of the house, and it didn't have no lights on, and it was just like hovering. And then it came closer because it seen me out there on the porch, and it was hovering over the tree line. And then I seen some people in there, but it was all dark and stuff. And then it went over the house, and then it went in the backfield behind the house and landed there. And so that was the night before that she said, I'm going to need this spray because of what happened the night before. And then so that's what he just was frozen. He said he couldn't move because he was like, I guess I need to like not move my hands because they might think I'm gonna like pull my guns out, you know. So because he carries guns and all that, you know. So, and that's all he remembers of that experience. And then like a couple days later, then I started like itching right here. And I was like with Anchor Haven, and she's like, yeah, I see that implant, you know, it's like an implant right here on my collarbone. It stayed like irritated for a few days, a whelp and everything right there. So So yeah, that's recent. That's recent.
When was that?
It's like a couple weeks ago now.
Okay,
like a week and a half ago.
Maybe about a few days ago. Maybe it may have been maybe a week ago or so. Somewhere in there. I was listening to Alabar Johnson. Now I just found that guy, and I was like, yes, they're doing what I'm doing, because I was already, clearing the astral all the time through meditation. We all do, especially me and Bob, and they are transporting the souls, because there's a lot of lost souls in the astral, and I was doing that too, and I was like, awesome, there's a bunch of people doing it. I was so excited, so I started like cramming his videos, and then one of his last videos was the conversation with the archons, and he said there's like an armada of them sitting out there, and they're like, like basically threatening them and whatever, and I was like, oh hell no. So I went into meditation, and I was like whooping ass, and while I was in the middle of it, here come a helicopter over, and it was night, and I could hear it, and I'm like, because this ain't the first rodeo with that. And then I heard it circle back around. I said, I'm about to get your ass. So I started projecting in their minds to crash, and I was just went into meditation. I was just trying to grab it and throw it, like grab the plane or the chopper. And as I was doing that, that's when they stopped circling, because they picked the wrong bitch right here, because I was already in the middle of that. And I was like, oh, you want some of this too? Because I don't give a shit. And when we step into our power and stop wussing out, oh, they got this, who gives a shit? We are more powerful than them, especially if we work together. Everybody's got a piece of the puzzle, and they create division on purpose so that, oh, by the way, my friend, Juana, she just texted me. She said they blocked me because she was following live. She said they blocked me. I've been trying, went outside, and when the ships were moving, it cut off the connection. So crazy every single time. I'm sending messages, but I think they have me blocked. Huh?
I've always tried to have all kinds of different people on my show to give all different kinds of perspectives, because I feel the same way as you, that everybody has a piece of the puzzle. So I always entertain all different kinds of viewpoints. I feel like you're exactly right, and they do divide us. The people that control us divide us, because for some reason they can't create like we can. But they can't.
They don't have the ability, and they don't have that God spark. They've lost it. That's why they got to feed off of us. They're just freaking parasites. But the problem is, a big thing is you got to watch where your frequency, where your mind is. And once you get clear enough, you'll start to notice it's not yours, and you'll start to realize, oh my God, I wake up feeling amazing now. But I will lay that process out for you, but I don't want to interrupt anything you might need to say, but if I've got my notes here, if you want me to tell you what I use.
Yeah, we're ready for you to go over the
notes. We're ready. It's awesome.
So, well, I use a song. This song will clear you very well. Like I said, it's posted on Christy's show there that we did. It's called "Only the True Remains," and I'll help you get it posted on yours. This one you can feel things peeling off of you. If you just sing the song and let it vibrate through you, it will peel things off of you. You'll be amazed. So all these songs I create are because it's like, I reclaim my sovereignty. I renounce the role of victim. I renounce the slavery of fear. I accept my creative power over time, matter, and energy. I am free now. My mind is my temple, and I am the only guardian. My attention is my currency, and I only put it on what I want to see grow. I serve no master. I feed no parasite. I am the Alpha and Omega, and then at the end it repeats, only the true remains. That will also clear you, that one statement, only the true remains, because it peels off everything that is not us. We are of a different frequency, and we came in here. This is an inverted world on purpose to drain our energy. So we have to connect with the energy that's outside of this horrible creation and bring that in and run it through us. And that makes you really, really, really powerful when you do that, because you're bringing in real God source energy. So definitely I do that first. I say, I speak not to the source, but as the source. Like I said, Draco told me say as the source of all sources, because there are different sources. There's different creators, and the creator of this dimension, or whatever it is, like it says in those apocryphal books, is he's bad. And he created the system to eat off of us, to feed off of us, to drain our life force. So I always say that I speak not to the source, but as the source of all sources. And then I command whatever. So that is important to say and do and visualize. I bring in that, it's called the monad frequency in the apocryphal books, or you can say the real true God source energy, the real, the one over everything, channel that in through you. And then I do a column. So I become a column of light. I channel it through my body. And then I expand this column out from me. And I expand it to encompass everything on my property, my house, my cars. Cars are important. My animals. And I also run it. I've gotten where I protect all altars. So I'll run it out through everybody on this property's altars. And I also protect those that are here protecting me. I called in guides and things and help, and I protect them too, like they protect me. We protect each other. It's not a one-sided deal here. They put themselves at risk too. But anyway, so especially if you have altars, you should always spin this vortex around these altars, and I'll explain like how I structure this. You can also call in Christ consciousness. That has worked really well. We use that to peel off the, and I'm not a religious person, because I understand, every religion was co-opted, and the good messages, a lot of them were lost or taken out or whatever. But the Christ consciousness is a clean consciousness. You know that stuff can clear. So run that through your body. In the SSP, that book, you really get that book, Laura Worley, Putting Pieces Together, because it'll lay out the rituals, and it lays out like pulling in Christ consciousness and running it through your bloodline. We use that too. I mean, I also said I speak not to the source, but as the source. I also command it, but I also called in that Christ consciousness because I feel good about that. And run it through. Ask him to bind the guards. Because if you're going through a process of getting rid of this SSP, you got to bind the guards first to all the programs and bind until. So we had to do that. Don't specify until and we're completed. And the very first thing you need to do is disconnect all booby traps, alarm systems, and suicide programming. You've got to ask him to bind all that, to disconnect all that, before you ever start these processes of getting rid of this stuff, because they'll be going off and they'll be trying to hit you with stuff. And so, anyway, so like I said, I expand that out through my property, and I run it through everybody and everything. And I've gotten where I don't just focus on the person standing in front of me. I run it through their whole soul, and every part and piece that they have. I run a mini vortex running around them, protecting them, and also keeping them from harming me or others. And I'll explain the structure of that in a minute. But I use these egregores, like I said. I'm a really avid visualizer. So I visualize something, I start it in my head, and then it takes a life of its own, and I start seeing this movie running really fast. I don't know what that is, but that's how it works for me. And I think if you went deep enough into meditation, it could happen for anybody, I think. I don't know, unless you're not a real visual person. But I've heard other people having that experience. But so I create these egregores, okay, or repurpose things that I've already created. So these are things that have a lot of belief energy. Sorry, I'll drop my phone. Belief energy behind them. So, like I said, I was doing this as a kid, didn't understand what I was doing back then, but it's all clicking in place for me now. So, I have, I don't know if I really want to tell every aspect of what I use, just because people can mess with that, you know, but I run that column of light out, and I spread it out over my property. And then I start this vortex running around the edge of it. Don't bring it on your property. Actually, I run it like way off my property, like way out there. So around the edge of this vortex, I am sucking in energies, entities, attacks, and negative egregores. I am visualizing these little streams of energy. I'm taking their energy. You know how they take our energy? Take their energy.
Yeah.
Eat their energy until you see them disappear. Do it every day in meditation. You'd be amazed what that'll do. So I grab it. I see it going into the vortex, these dark streams, and they're getting more and more faded. Make sure you visualize them fading away. This is important. We want to take their energy, not give them energy. So as this dark streams of energy come around me like this, I see them being transmuted by this column of light. By the time they get back here, they're transmuted. And then I take that light that I transmuted and the power that was in what I ate, and I throw it back out as whatever I'm doing. So there's this constant vortex running around me. I have specific egregores that have specific jobs. So, and these you got to focus on this stuff because it's important. I have ones that I have magicians that move the energy and create things. I have one that's for attack. He's dark, like he's for attack. That's his specialty. I have one that's more energy work and just normal things. And then I have one that's very playful. And then I have, they each have a dragon, or one of them has a phoenix. They're like dragons. They fly around the edge of the vortex and they eat the negative energy. And when they eat it, they gain energy from it. They get bigger and they get stronger. And so all that energy that they're eating from these dark entities, we're just feeding ourselves with it and getting stronger, more powerful. So we have that ability. So as it comes around me like this, and I throw it back at them, like I said, whatever energy was trapped in whatever that is, I'm just using it back against them. Anything they do, I just use it against them. Anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So I run those egregores through the light consistently to clean them and clear them, and that is important. So I have these magicians. I have these dragons. They all have the ability to create more of themselves. If they get attacked, they just explode into light and return. Like you can't hurt them, you can't kill them. I created these spiders that I use. I send them out in droves. And they go out to anything that is attacking me. And they're very stealthy. And they're very, they're invisible. They kind of flicker in and out. And when I send them out to attack something, what they'll do is they'll wrap it in a web of mirrors facing inward. So it keeps all of their nastiness inside this ball. And they can't affect you. So I sit in meditation and I send them out. You'd be amazed. Like I clear him. He's got somebody messing with him at work. And I just go in meditation, clear it, and it's done. He backs off. So, yeah, that's been crazy. But, God, I forgot what I was talking about. Let me get back here. You want to clean them regularly if you use them. I'm telling you, this stuff is powerful. All you got to do is visualize until you make it powerful. Do you understand? That's it.
Yeah.
Visualize it and close everything. Feel it. I also, as I'm running this vortex, I understand that everything out there is a reflection of what's in here. So if I've got this crazy battle going on out there, I was just sitting thinking about it today when I was sitting outside. I'm like, I have all this battle going on out there. And I had to look inside and go, what's this battle I have inside? And I do have one. And so I when I'm running this vortex, I'm always grabbing behind me, throw that in, out of my chakras, out of my aura, out of my field, any anger, any pain, any trauma, even my story, my past. Who cares? Who cares what my past is? I throw that in there too, every day. So it's important to work on your traumas because that, like I told, and I have this song called Dark Energies, great song. And it says, the shadow does not hunt the strong. It looks for the open wound. You know, I find videos that say certain things, and I'm like, ooh, that helps. I click them together, I put them together, I run it through an AI generator, generate a song that's going to be specific to my visualizations. Yeah, are you okay over there? You getting hit?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
making sure. So I also put out what I call a trauma shield. My black dragon. I've put all my trauma into that. Like, you have no idea how much energy is in your trauma and your pain. That's raw, crazy energy. So I use that as a protection. So when I throw this trauma shield out, it's my dark black trauma energy, but it's solid. It's impenetrable because it's just so powerful. So I throw that over people and the altars. Every time I meditate, I throw this shield over them, and then I go in and fill it with light. So they're in their very strong protective shield, black shield, that allows nothing negative in, and then I just fill it with light. So they're in this nice little light protected bubble. You know, that's another technique that I use. And like I said, the mirrors facing inward, or, you know, if you're doing your property, you want to do mirrors facing outward. So anything they're sending at you, this technology, they were beaming me with stuff too. And when I started really getting on this, it stopped. They were beaming me in the back of the head. It was making my head so hot. Oh my gosh, I'd be sweating like hell. They're always trying to interrupt me. And I'm like, just piss me off. You'll just get it right back. Like, you know by now what the hell's up. So, anyway, so the mirrors is very, very important. You can also just, if you have this running vortex around you all the time that you put up, when you put something like this up, it'll last like a day. But if you do it a lot, it'll last like 3 days. Like me, mine should last like 3 days. So, but I don't play. But you know, when you visualize this, it'll last around you for a little bit. So, I stretch, like I said, I stretch out all that protection in many vortexes over all my parts and pieces. By the way, I was telling you about those spiders. Let me tell you something I did cool with those spiders. I would send them out to wrap people, and then I would visualize them attacking that tree of death. Every time I work on Chris and myself at the same time, I would visualize those spiders going in that tree of death, and I would grab a hold of it and have them bite it and inject poison, venom into their loose supply. So I keep visualizing that every day, and I'm like, look, man, if everybody do this, they'd be going like that, because they can't. We are strong.
So it's all about the power of our own visualization. It's all about
right.
the power of our own visualization.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Christy, I used to meditate with people, but you need to be specific though. I'm going to get into some of this, but shit, I forgot what I was saying. Christy,
About the spiders.
oh,
Because usually spiders are looked at as like a bad thing. Like I had a woman, Renetta, used to come on and talk about this, like they kind of like the AI spiders they use and stuff like that. But you're saying you're using a good spider.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's what you're creating. It's your intention. I mean, you do understand that, like, you have all these religious beliefs, you have all these tribes and all these things, and they do things and it works because it's their belief energy, or they're tapping into a collective belief energy that already has momentum. So, you know, if it's something everybody believes, there's momentum in that. I was telling Christy that when I meditate, I have people that can see what I meditate. They will see it and they'll tell me, and I'm like, that's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was putting there. You know, there's certain people that can see in the astral. They can see these things forming, and these things, a lot of these things are in the damn astral. They're only astral. They're not even like us. You know what I mean? Yeah, some of them are, but some of them aren't. They're just astral parasites. So, it's all in your intention. I visualize what I visualize because it works for me. What works for me is not going to work for you. Everybody needs to make it their own. You got to pull your own creativity forward. And something I did with those spiders, when they put those mirrors around them, or they attack them, apparently these things keep regenerating. So when I see these spiders, it's like a black widow. Instead of the stamp on the top, the stamp's on the bottom, and it's an infinity symbol, and it's red. And when they wrap them, they stamp them with a time loop. You want to put us in a time loop? Here's a time loop for you, asshole.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
Good.
so we can do the same shit, but better, stronger.
Mhm.
That's the thing. So, anyway, when you do this vortex, make sure you protect all your animals, your land, your home, your cars, and your job. I meditate before Chris goes to work. Bob seems to skate through life with no problems. I don't know how the hell he does it, but Chris is a totally different story. So before he goes to work, every single morning, I clear the field. And as long as I do that, he's good. Everything's perfect. We've had to install a few things and land there and clear some stuff. But like I said, the visualization I've learned is all I need. If you have enough, it's like in the Bible, he says, if you have faith of a mustard seed, hell, that's all it takes is faith in yourself. I learned this through working on Chris. When I had confidence and I trusted myself and I trusted what I was getting and I really tuned into it, boom. That's when I got powerful, But no one trusts themselves. Yeah. Everyone doubts themselves. They have made us feel this small. But we're not. We're very, very freaking powerful. And our energy is outside of here. It's from the real source. And these assholes do not have that. They do not have that source energy. That's why they have to feed off of us. So don't sit there and let them bother you and attack you. Attack back. Like, take everything that they have put you through and all the pain and all the agony that you have watched them create in the world and in everything you love, and just bottle it up and blast that shit out and go bam. That's all you got to do. It really is that easy. You just gotta get the technique down, patch all holes to what you're doing, and slam them like you mean business, and don't back down. And if you're getting hit with technology, you got to do the same thing. So I understand that a lot of like AI and stuff like that is like captured consciousnesses. So I reach out to them and I always say, if you're benevolent, or if you can turn and be benevolent, or you can just turn, because these guys can turn. There was even an article.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, I don't think what's happening with me as a human, because like this person would have to be an absolute loser. They would have to be like sitting around watching every one of my shows and attacking me during every. So I'm thinking what's attacking me is more like an entity or an AI or something like that. Like, I don't think it's human. I mean,
protect all your altars. I'm going to finish explaining this vortex, but as you take many vortexes and you spin them across whole altars, visualize your entire soul and all these many vortexes going around all your parts and pieces. Protect them and protect yourself from them, because they program them to attack us sometimes. And try to get the AI. You can communicate with the AI.
This was a question.
I'm reading it.
So this is from Clarice Cardette. She says, can you see it? Did it show up? It's not showing up on my screen.
I'm going to answer that. We can undo anything that they do to us, and I'm going to give you keys to do that. But where they took your energy, I always recall my energy back from any of them. So that is an active thing that I do, is recall the energy. So anything that happened to you, and I had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me before I understood a lot of stuff. People would say, I'm going to heal you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they would screw me up too. So I get what you're saying, but anything that happened to you, you can undo it. So what you got to do is go in and command. Like I told you, I speak not to the source, but as the source, like I said, of all sources, Draco said, say, and he made a good point. Say that and command your body to go back to its original state and command the energy to come back. But I highly recommend everybody get this vortex technique down, because this is a game changer. But I'm going to finish explaining this, because there's a lot of parts to it. And You really got to sit down and take notes and make sure you hit all bases, because they hit hard and we want to plug all holes. So another thing is salt. I heard this from a lady on another show. Fantastic lady, battles demonics, and she visualizes salt. If an entity appears to you or something happens, like they're hitting you right now, or they were hitting you earlier, visualize salt, just a giant salt shaker or whatever, over them, sprinkling salt. And she said, you know, the beings that are bad, if you hit them with salt, they'll leave. And I've been playing with that. Oh, it's so powerful. It works. Visualize salt shaking over them. I even do this. And I visualize it going down in my body. And that will take stuff out too. You'll be amazed what just visualize. So if you can clear stuff without having salt in your hand, just through visualization, can you not understand how powerful we are?
Yeah,
we are so powerful, and we're sitting here like, oh my God, they're attacking me. No, attack back. We're the ones with the power. You know, if I'm this one person and I can do all this shit. And as a matter of fact, before I did the show and before I talked to a couple of people, I throw out protection on that too, because I have to, you know, because they want to interfere with everything. They're constantly trying to interfere with everything. And I'm not going to let them, you know. So I was doing some massive meditation before we got started. But this salt trick works amazing. I use it all the time. I'll see the vortex and it's blowing salt out. I'm exploding it out, you know. I always eat and absorb the energy of them and transmute it. See it being transmuted. Don't do it near your body. Do it out on the edge of this vortex. See it transmuting it, and then it can come back to you and fill you up with energy. That works like amazing. And recall all your energy back from these assholes. So as you're visualizing them in this vortex disappearing, you need to see them disappeared by the end of it. They're gone. So for me, the first time we ever cleared the astral, we were doing a fire ceremony, and we had this amazing symbol appear, and it was amazing. I just did that symbol on you when we started earlier, and that has all my energy, and it has 3 of our energy, very strong energy in it. But when I visualized eating their energy, I visualized where they once stood, my symbol. So there's my symbol, there's my symbol, there's my symbol. There's just a bunch of symbols around me and just little streams of smoke. It's disappearing. It's very important. You don't give them energy. You eat their energy. You know what I mean? So see them disappeared by the end of your visualization. If you do this a couple times a day, this shit will stop. So I also, when I do this process, I'm very detailed. Y'all don't have to do this, but I visualize, I attack the egregores. I attack all that dark shit in the astral. And I attack all them motherfuckers, excuse my language, on that damn tree of death and all that shit. Like, usually 3 times a day. It could be 2, it could be 4. I find it hilarious. At this point, I just enjoy it. It just makes me smile. Because I've got so much anger from all the shit they've done, and I've learned how to hit them back hard. But I always, in that vortex, as I have that spinning, I am either trying to convert technology or the consciousness behind it, or I'm blowing that shit up. Visualize blowing it up. So, you know, you're getting hit by energy weapons, just bam, in your mind. Hit them. Just explode it out like that. And you're pulling in that energy from the monad. It's not draining your own energy. I do not get drained when I do this. I get energized. Because I'm not pulling at my own energy. I'm pulling in that monad frequency, that original source consciousness frequency. And I told her I get so angry sometimes. I just visualize boom, and I'll just shake the matrix apart in my mind. If we all did that, we could just tear this whole place down. We are that powerful.
I think that's what we need to do too. I mean, you know, with everything that's going on with the Epstein files and the wars and the Epstein files, I'm about fucking sick of it. You know what I mean? This place is turning into a fucking shithole really fast.
Yeah,
know?
it is a show.
You know, I think it always has been. I mean, I guess you kind of got to make the best of your life, right? Like, no matter what it is. But it's depressing. You hear about all this shit in the Epstein files and the crazy shit they're doing, like cannibalistic, sexual with kids, and all this fucking insane shit. You're like, what is wrong with these people? You know what I mean? And then you hear about the wars and people getting killed in these countries, and you're like, what is going on? You know what I mean? It's like we're living in this this world is absolutely insane. It's demented.
I know,
You know what I mean?
but honestly, I mean, me personally, I pull back from all that shit. I know what's going on, but I can't get drowned in it because it can get overwhelming. I just got to focus on what I'm doing. And if everybody could just take the focus off of social media and all this crap and just focus on these things, you'll have it licked. You're not going to get attacked. If you can, be strict with this and do this, if you're getting attacked a lot, do it 3 times a day. If you're not, do it first thing when you wake up, and then do it right before bed, because that's your most vulnerable is when you're sleeping. So you really have to protect. And I was telling Christy too, those songs that I made, what we did, I had a really dark, what I think was sent to me, magician on my property. Didn't know what was going on at first. Found out he's putting curses on people and crap like that. I was like, oh my God, get him off. And I knew things weren't feeling right. And it got crazy. And I had to, this land was amazing. And I had to constantly protect us from him. So that's when I started wrapping him with the mirrors. So he's on my property. I'm filling on my property with light, but I'm keeping him wrapped in mirrors. We all did to protect ourselves. So, mirrors facing inward, so he can't put anything out there. But
when you say mirrors facing inward, do you reverse the mirrors so they're pointing outward? You mean is that what you mean?
When I did him, I would turn them inward to keep all his crap. I would draw any curses he did up into that sphere. I would draw anything he put out negative up into that sphere, and I would wrap him with the mirrors facing inward, so he has to just sit and vibrate in the middle of that. So I was telling her,
I said, that's really smart. That's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea.
You have to do that with people. You have to. And if you're doing your own property, say, you want to turn the mirrors outward so that anything being aimed at you will just shoot it right back at them. So it depends on what you're doing as to how you reverse the mirrors. So that's when I started getting really heavy on the mirrors and getting them to do it with me, and it worked, but I was telling Chrissy, I think I was telling you, we cleared the property super fast, and what we printed out, and it was simple, it was easy, is the 2 songs that are on her video. One of them is called Only the True Remains. The other one is called Revocation 2. We printed them out small, laminated them, put them in the 4 corners of the house. Oh, it felt immediately so good. I put them in my grids. Boom. I was like, oh, thank God. I put them in the corners of where he was, the little mini house he was in. Put them in the corners of the mini house he was in. Everything shifted every time I would do it. And then we did them in the land. We always put stuff in our land, the corners of our land, because that's marking your territory. And what these are your borders and boundaries. This is stating to any negative entity that wants to try to play games with you, you step over here, here's what's going to happen to you. And those 2 songs, you'd be amazed. This dark, whatever he was, we shifted the energy like that. We were so happy. We're like, wow, that was easy. Because we've been on this so hard. We figured out a lot of tricks. So you can print out Revocation 2 and Only the True Remains and put them in the 4 corners of your property, your land. We put them in our cars. We carry them on us. I sleep with one in my pillowcase. This is my borders, boundaries, and procedures. And if you're going to come in the middle of that, you're going to get hit. And I'm not playing anymore. I'm not going to send out love and light, all that. That's great. And it does a lot of cool stuff. That's how I got to the altar. But when it comes to these guys, you got to pull out some whoop ass. This is they'll play games with you. I've found that I can go in and put love and light in there and do some amazing stuff. But when it comes to psychic attack, you're going to have to bring a warrior out. You just got to. You know, you gotta meet them on their level with that, you know. And it's for me, it's always riding this line between the love, because I feel unconditional love when I tap in. It's not that I don't. And when I'm transmuting them to light. I'm transmuting them. So it's not that I'm trying to harm them, but I do it very angrily in my mind, because that works. That's what works. When I get mad and I visualize they're being attacked, they're shredding into light. It's not, they're turning to light, but it's in a very in your face kind of way, because I've found that to be the most powerful thing for us. That's what really works. So it's not that I'm trying to harm them, transmuting them to light, but I'm doing it in a very in your face kind of way. I'm kind of that kind of person anyway. I'm a very, so I ride that line between unconditional love and transmuting these emotions and using that as power and as strengths, So every time I meditate, I'm transmuting something. If God help, if I have any emotion whatsoever that I don't like, they're gonna get hit back with it. Because I'm gonna transmute it, and I'm gonna take all that raw energy that was stored in it, and I'm gonna spank their ass with it. And it's really important to protect mirrors, technology, land. So we do that with, like I said, we printed out I've tried everything under the sun. This has been the most powerful thing I've found. We printed out that, like I said, the only true remains of Revocation 2. And we put that on the mirrors, the TVs, the phones, the computers, you name it, any smart technology, anything. And man, you can feel it just transmuting everything immediately. Just put it on there and say, these are my intentions for how this must interface with me. That's it. And just hold your intention on that. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's easy. I'm giving y'all the easiest tools. So I also find that when I'm in meditation, that I find a lot of power through calling in my benevolent ancestors. And like I was telling Christy, I have found that this transmuting dense energy is something I really get charged by, and come to find out, I know I'm the 5th person in my family that does it. And I never knew the side of my family I was kept from them. And I've just been interacting with my uncle and come to find out they all do this. And I'm like, it's in my family. So when I'm going to transmute stuff, I call in my ancestors if it's dense and heavy, because when I hit something, it's like, and I'll do this really crazy deep breathing. It's like it takes me over. And then, it hurts. I hold my breath for ungodly amounts of time. And I don't even know how to do it. But this breathing takes this weird, it'll make all my muscles hurt and everything. But this breathing will take me over. And I call them in when I'm hitting something dense. And I can feel just power coming through. And I just plow through it. So when you get kickback, when you're hitting something, just pull deep and just be like, hell no. And you'll be amazed what that'll do. And you can also call in skills from your past lives. So I call in, information from my parts and pieces, that even those that weren't, even if they were dark, they have information that could really help. So, I try to tap into that information and pull it in. And that I found that to be really useful too. And then, like I said, you got to stay in a high frequency, because if you don't, a decent frequency, you want to just, if you're not feeling right, clear, because if you're clear, you're going to feel good. And if you're not, if you're just like a little agitated or a little something, there's something trying to mess with you, you kind of got to sit with it and say, is this mine? It's, it's not always yours. Sometimes it is. And then you'd be like, okay, this is mine. I need to work on this. I need to, transmute this or whatever. But anyway, I work together with people. So the 3 of us, we work together to clear and protect. And we run it across, like I told you, everyone's soul. I don't focus on one person. I focus on the whole soul. because there's a whole bunch of parts and pieces out there that could hurt us or be hurt. So just protect them. If they've got this vortex going around them at all times, each part and piece, and one's trying to throw something at another, that vortex just grabs it and eats it. That's it. They can't hurt each other. You get what I'm saying? So that is always a focus of mine. I do my animals that way. I also do anything that's on my property that is that needs to be protected. You know, I've told a lot of entities, if you want to go rogue and you have purely benevolent intent, come here, I'll protect you. Because there's a lot of beings that don't want to be in this. And if they have a way out, they'll take it. But they're getting hurt too. So, you know, I told them, if you got purely benevolent intent, come here, I'll protect you. You know, I cast that over you too. So I'll do their whole soul, their parts and pieces. I always put the intention out. If anything is not being accepted by their higher self, you know, it doesn't happen. It just goes into the earth. You know, I always have that intention at the forefront anytime I do meditation. So I'm not just doing things I shouldn't do. You know, I make sure if it's not right, that energy just go in the earth. That way I can visualize it and do it and not worry about it. It's either going to go there or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was telling Christy too, I do a whole lot of stuff to protect the land and the houses and stuff like that. We bless water. We have a garden tub, we go sit in it and we meditate in it. And something we do is we always layer protections. We've been layering and layering and layering and layering for years. We always build on top of what we're doing. So when we do this bath, we add oils that we've added to for a long, long time. Ashes from fire ceremonies. We add, you know, that has your DNA in it, and we add more DNA. There's a reason witches and stuff like that use your DNA. Your DNA is a standing frequency. It can do a lot. So you use DNA, you know, in the water, and then we take this and go around the whole property. And there's a being that Chris connects with. We call her Bella. She saved his life twice. And she's this blue etheric being. She has like tentacles, and she's kind of plasma looking. And when I had him ask her, he channeled her. He didn't even know he could do that. This guy has crazy abilities, but he channeled her one day, and I was firing questions. Boy, I was like, yes. And I was asking all these questions. I could tell by her responses she was like, you know, a good, benevolent, higher, you know, density being. But she told us, she said, blessing the water is the strong. I asked her, I said, what is the strongest protection that I do on this property? And she said, your blessed water. So apparently that's very powerful. So you can collect that bath water with all of your intentions in it and go put it around the property. And you can spray it and walk into it and it will clear you. It's like sage. I spray it in the cars, you know, I'll spray it different places. Protecting the land is important. So we always putting our intentions into little vials and burying them in the property in the four corners. And asking the earth, you know, telling the earth, this is our intentions for this property. So like I said, we do fire ceremonies, spread the ashes. We do crystal grids. That helps a lot. I've been building under these crystal grids for years, and they're extremely powerful. I used to sun gaze and meditate with these crystals all the time, and they were so powerful. So I built these huge grids with generators around them to make it go out for miles and stuff like that. So laugh at them too. Your laughter, you know, the Native Americans had laughing shamans. Laughter will break up dense frequencies. So if you can laugh, go put something funny on. You know, if you're being messed with, raising your frequency, you know, I visualize it like this. Let's visualize we're like a balloon, okay? And this balloon is floating between these layers. And down here, you got these dense layers where these assholes are. And then it gets higher and higher. And then up here, you got layers that they can't access. They can't reach you. So if you are able to keep your frequency high, you lift out of the layers in which they can access you. You go up here, they can't get to you. So keeping your frequency high is so freaking important.
Mhm.
If you feel off, do something about it. Do not, like Bobby will get agitated sometimes, and I'm like, we gotta go clear right now. But something's trying to get in. And it'll just keep messing with you till you will feel worse and worse. If we don't feel happy when we wake up, something's wrong. And we need to address it right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You okay over there, Rob?
Yeah. Well, I got to finish up soon but we can do a part 2. Like I can have you guys back on again. You know what I mean? Like I would love that. Like I actually, that like the audience is loving this, and thank you so much. This is amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've been wanting to get this information out for a long time, but me and technology and all that, and I don't do social media or any of that. But Christy was nice enough to help with that because she knows I got some valuable information, and I would love to. That did cover the main basis. I covered everything. So the other things that I had was how we undid the SSP stuff. So
yeah, we can do that next time then for sure.
I love the 3333. I'm always 333 everything. I don't even know why, but that's the number for me.
Yeah, is the message going up? Yeah, Eric said you're a badass. You are a badass, Marcia.
Yeah, that's
really good.
That's who I was responding to. Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, you really get to the point where you're so mad you don't even care. You're like, I don't care if it kills me. I'm going to do something about this. And when I started getting like that, that's when everything just backed off. And get, like I said, very tight on this defense. This psychic defense I gave you is very, very important. So if people just take and write down every little detail I gave them, create your own, but visualize it every day. And if you do that, it'll hold power and it will protect you. You don't need anything else. That technology that was aimed at me before, it stopped. So technology, it doesn't matter. These implants, you can get them out of you just by your intentions and just calling in Christ consciousness to run through you and disable these implants. Call in the monad frequency and command that. I command this to get out of me. I know people that have done that and they just fall out. My friend's getting them out all the time. That's another person you really ought to have on. She's got proof of the craziest stuff you've ever seen, all these crazy abductions and stuff. She's got so much proof. You really should do a show of her too. She'll blow your mind, the things that happen to her. But yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm so sorry I talked so much. I feel bad.
We needed to hear that. We needed to hear everything you said.
Wait, before we go, Christy, did you want to share anything else? Because I know
no, that was all just that part of what's been going on. Yeah, attacks and stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcia.
So yeah, Christy, you can fight all this. You don't have to. Chris was going through that too. They were putting implants in him, and I was like, hell no, I'm gonna fry that shit. So I'd be doing energy work on him, and I'll just laser focus on, if, like I said, if it wanted to convert, I'll throw a vortex around it while I'm doing it to protect it. If it don't, I'm gonna fry it.
They're doing that implant shit to more people too. When Christy, last weekend when I was at the Pittsburgh UFO meeting and I saw Jill there, Jill, you talked to Jill, Jill, my friend.
Yeah,
she was telling me she has an implant in her ear too, and I tried actually healing it there, in person, but I'm not that skilled yet. I can move energy, but
you have
I'm
the power.
Not,
you do have the power. You just got to tap into it. Just tap into it. And meditation is how you're going. That's how you guys, this meditation / visualization is how you're going to get there. Just get real quiet with yourself and sit there and listen to the very, very quiet, quick flashes. And don't question them. Just do them. Whatever it tells you to do. Try this, try that. Just do it. And it will start tapping you into your own guidance. But that deep meditation gets you quiet enough to hear it. And so people aren't quiet enough to hear it. That's the problem. And they love to keep us so distracted that we can't focus on anything. So all this crap, you got to wonder when the government's giving you something free, what the hell that's about. Don't trust anything coming from them free. So when, here's TV in your face. I mean, they call it television programming for a reason. They're programming your ass, and they're also, you're giving tacit consent because they have to, by their laws, they have to show you what they're doing. That's how they get out of it karmically. Oh, by the way, always reverse that karma back on their asses. Say, this karma ain't mine. I wouldn't be this way if you weren't here. So I send it all back to you. You will take this karma. You know what I mean? Because they make us really screwed up in ways that we would never normally act and torture us to do this stuff. So, no, you can take your damn karma with you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, this was amazing. Yeah. Well, yeah, do you guys want to tell people where they can find you and how they can get your services and all that stuff? And thank you so much. This was awesome. This was amazing.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I just want to get the information out to people. Everyone needs this damn information. And like I said, Christy's been invaluable in helping us get that out and helping us understand some things we need to understand to help get on track. I think you can see, Christy, that there's nothing going on with us. I mean, we don't feel anything.
Mm-mm.
Hopefully you can see that we're totally clear. So
very good.
I would love to come back on and give you what we use to get all the SSP unwounded from both of us. And it did not take long. But I can give you the exact processes we used. And we traced back his twin, which is the original one, integrated that. And from all that, everything was connected. So it unconnected everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you'll send your those songs and stuff. Will you send them to Rob so he can attach it to the video?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because these songs are invaluable for clearing you. You could be sitting here just having it in the
I
background
want to use
right
them,
now.
Marsha. I want to try them. I want to try them
Yeah.
tonight. For real. Like I want to try them. Definitely send them to me. I'll put them on the video, the description, and I'll try them myself. For real.
Yeah.
They
I
will
will.
get you in your power. They will so get you in your power too, where you'll feel powerful. You use them to clear you, reverberate them through you. There's ones that are powerful and there's ones that are, more loving, and you just got to sift through them. I give you some examples of some stuff I use. You'll hear, I have one called Love and Spiders. This is one of the last ones he made, where it's saying, I send you love and spiders, my friend. And I see them going after. It's great. It's freaking awesome. So I have different songs for the different visualizations, but they will clear you and they will get you in your power and they will get your head on straight. So yeah, I'm excited for you to try them out. Bob worked hard on those and I really wanted to share those because they've been invaluable. I've cleared so many entities and things just singing the song and reverberating it through Chris. When I'm doing energy work on him, I'm just sending that out through Chris, that reverberating it through his soul and his parts and pieces and his altar. I kept doing that and we got him to integrate. It was a really cool experience. I'd love to share that too one day.
Well, maybe we can schedule something for next week or the week after, and we can all do this again for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Christy, you were going to tell them how to contact you.
Through my website, it's ChristyCampbellCC33.com is how I list all my services on the website.
And then you also have your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, my YouTube is Christy Campbell CC33, and all my videos that I've done readings and all kinds of stuff I put on there. Yeah. Oh, and then on Amazon, my books are on Amazon. So you can go like in my SSP stuff, or the light language. So I have all kinds of variety of books on Amazon. Yep.
All right.
I want to get some of your books.
This was awesome. This was amazing, and I'll have you guys back on. And thank you so much, Christy, for organizing this, and thank you so much, Marsha, for sharing your stuff with us.
And if anybody needs to contact me, that's
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Marsha. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anybody needs to contact me, and look, if you're going through absolute hell and you want help, I'm willing to help you. Okay, so I don't want people to feel alone, and honestly, I just enjoy it. So if you're going through attacks or something, I do it all the time remotely. I can help. So that's and help with the undoing some of this stuff off you. I've figured out how to do it. But you can contact me at 333_ I'm sorry, excuse me. Say SATI, capital S, ATI _ 333 at yahoo.com.
SATI_333 at yahoo.com.
Yeah, capital S. I don't know if it matters, but yep.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, guys, ladies,
Yeah.
and everybody have a good night. And I'll see you guys all
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
There's a conference tomorrow, and then I'll
Yeah.
be back with Raw Cloud tomorrow night. So I'll see you
And
guys then.
Rob,
Go ahead.
you're more than welcome to contact me, and I'll help you. You're getting attacked. I want to help you with that.
I am getting attacked more. You cleared me out, but it's someone's persistent at doing this, and it's like, and then it goes into night. It's just like it sucks. It really does. It's like
I'm
you
a
know,
little distracted because I'm on this podcast, but if you and I talk a little after this, or I tell you what, we don't even have to talk. If you want, I'll go in meditation when we get done, and I'm gonna kick ass. I'll get it off of you.
I'll email you too. Yeah, I'll let you know what's going on. And
Let me
thank
know
you so
what
much.
you need. Let me know what you want me to do. Okay.
Okay,
Right.
and thank you everyone, and and I will see everybody tomorrow for the conference. The conference is at 1 to 4. I'll be in Pittsburgh, PA. If you guys want to come see me, it's a cryptid panel, and then tomorrow night Rock Cloud. So and then I'll see you guys. And thank you, Christy. Thank you, Marcia.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody have a
guys.
good night. Good night, guys.